Hello and welcome to another football edition Nasser Media Live. Well, today the game don't start already, but we need to talk too much about the starting of the game because we just want to introduce the panel officially, and then we start the program discussion as we always bring come to now European 2020. It will be 2020 actually, but they say 2021. But anyway, this now the European tournament we don't start about a couple of days ago, and we don't show a couple of games. Then we don't talk about a couple of games. Then, and today we continue to talk about the most important game so far. Now this we own territory. Like we say, we discuss for cover as much as possible. Most of the games, then we get enough players them of African heritage. We're in England, France. We're not England really. France, Belgium. We get Germany who gets with one man up there, and then we get Finland who gets another Salon player with the play. And also we follow the Dutch team as well, because they get a couple of players that we get not directly African but Caribbean links. They play for Holland. So basically that is why we're here, and we talk about the game, we reflect on the game, and then we talk about Salon football alongside that. But today with me, I guess me normal home-based host in Molai, the great Kamara T-Boy. Molai, say hello to the fans them and say hello to them and tell them what team you expect for today's game.
Hello, this is Molai Kamara, is T-Boy. The expectation for today's match is really tight because of the rivalry really between the two nations them. It's not just about football, but there's a lot of things get to do with today's match. It could be a very, very difficult and tight game. On paper,
why they say it will be very difficult and tight game?
In a sense, it's not just the game is not just about talent. You understand? It's not just about the best, but it's about who determine more to put the shift.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if they put the right shift, they will get the right results.
Why make for some reason you get confidence that Scotland will make a very dangerous move for possibly win this game today? Because you know, look 110% say England will meet clear.
Yeah. Because when you play them kind of games as win a derby or rivalry match, it's not just about talent. You understand? But the passion, the determination, and you play with pride. So there's a lot of ego. A lot of ego deep into this match. So it's possible England can beat them. They can beat them even more than 1 goal or 3 goals. But they have to be careful. It's a different ball game. They have to be careful.
Okay. One thing we talk about today, now the knee. We know say within the past couple of months, I would say almost a year now, the Black Lives Matter don't bring so much controversial things that some people are not happy with, some people are happy with, some people are in between. One of which now the knee. And the first American football player we start them get for discontinuing contracts and without of contracts, and other players then follow suit because they want for support in that initiative. They say he will not stand for the American national anthem because of the way how it treats black people in America. So he decided for go on the knee. So the knee becomes a theme of almost all the soccer games, the main football games, the way they happen in America, with majority of the black players and some amount of white players, them also, they take the knee for support. The black players, then we feel say, then they go through a lot of high amounts of racism in America. What do you think? Because when these things start over in the UK, there's been a lot of discussion on radio, on television programs for say, well, the knee is too much. Black people are not for begin, they take the knee and slow the game. So the question with some people and they ask now the fact say, is it better to take the knee than we actually accept the fact, say, yes, racism is not going to be eradicated? What is better? Either we take the knee and make sure, say, we highlight the fact, say, this is a protest against racism, or we keep quiet and just we allow racism for continue. We don't even know whether it will end or then go try for at least to reduce them drastically so it's not in the eyes of people who are of colored. What should I take on the knee, Molai?
Well, for me, I think with the knee, at least you don't know eradicate them so wanted. You understand the racism, but you see, say you don't try. You slow down a little bit. I would say you slow down because you got a lot of people the way they support the knee. When people in the support make you understand things become a little bit more kind of in terms of action. The action is a little bit more better compared to try to when everybody been just no waiting at the right cause, no waiting for do. But the knee now when a kind of a signal, say okay, now this will it do? This is not the action we will be do for send the signal, say yes, this thing where they go on, people are not happy about it. And the one who are not happy, now then boku now. So as time goes on, then go dominate. But at the time we don't know. But then we definitely go get to the height we want for which for eradicate this racism.
But we believe say racism at the sports of football in Europe and UK is still not on go anyway whatsoever. It still exists and it exists highly. Even within the Premiership, we're one of the most renowned football competition or football league in the world. They face a high volume of racism. You feel say that team will for be easily eradicated, or it would take time, possibly not even in real lifetime, for making me feel say yes, there is an amount of equality in football in the UK. And I say this because I believe say coach, you get a mixed breed of boys the way the coach right now. That's why I'm saying this directly to you.
It will take time. But now we just get to continue for the educate the people. You understand? Because racism come also with education. So if we continue for educate people and say this thing we need to do, right, that will help for everything become minimized. It's not going for done, you understand? But let me reach onto a certain level where people will say yes, it's not been worse as before. Not an easy challenge. Like me personally, I don't find myself in a situation where didn't think it'll happen so many times. You understand? Not so easy something. I don't find myself in a situation.
Oh, England just hit the post again for the first time. Well, this now for me we ready. We see England don't begin hit the post, so no say the game don't begin tough. Well, the game so far don't begin play as far as I see now, like a ball possession or the half where the game they play is more or less played now the Scottish half. So we believe say there's going to be a lot of pressure from England. And again, that was a free header. Is that Maguire? I don't know who that player is right now, but I'll find out who that player is. But it's not free header away.
Maguire didn't the bench.
Okay. So, but that's a very high, tolling defender. Him.
So George
Stones. Stones. Okay.
Stone, yeah.
Well, in athleticism are extremely good at the moment. Okay, we'll come back to this Black Lives Matter knee thing. Again, for highlight some of the issues that really happen with the knee. I've been listening to some radio program a couple of days ago where the radio program, they say England's an attack. Oh, the radio program, they say, well, back in the days of John Barnes, those years, even when John Barnes scored one of the best goals then at one specific tournament, I think in the 80s or 90s, I'm not too sure which particular game nowadays. But still, people and when have been the England fans them, then still they make the monkey chant against John Barnes. This now they don't fans them. So you feel say it could be easy and difficult because even when something of that happened very recently, I don't know if na Manchester United big game or some club big game where they do make monkey chants from the player then we been the play for their own team. That is still ongoing. Yeah. As a coach, what do you feel say for happen when situation like that arrive? Because remember, Raheem Stanley and few others, then we don't walk out of the pitch a couple of years ago because of them kind of same amount of racism in them day. Well, so what's in that you don't take to that?
I feel say the FIFA and the clubs then get a big role for play on that. And then you don't get in a society where the clubs them and FIFA just focus on the financial side than getting things in place. Because when players take action, then we'll begin to hear about, oh, you're professional, you're under contracts and blah, 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 and all that thing. So when you look at it, now the financial side and they think, because if them you don't take the right action, now them you take the right action, you understand? Give the right, the proper references to the players then, and the people who are always affected. Say, if this thing happen, you take this action. I personally feel say it will stop pan football. But then just care about the financial aspect of the game. So when this will stop, we don't know. They don't try, you understand? The people where they support the black players then, they don't try to get things in place. The black players instead don't make so much effort to get things in place. But FIFA and the clubs them, the club owners them, they get a lot more to do into this. Okay. Because so now I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You understand? If you now then give a chance to Raheem Stanley, you understand? And then Raheem Stanley with the other black players see look, this is not right. We know the tick let's walk off the pitch. You know what they go begin to think about first? About the fans them. Say, oh, the fans they want to watch football, they want to enjoy the game and all that. One of the same fans them back among them, they cause them problems in it.
Yeah.
So who that you feel say get the fault or put to stop. You understand?
So if the club decide for ban the player and then the player them, okay, they don't ban because it has to make you see a set of because these are like hooligans. I'll call them football hooligans where they put themselves together in chunk. Where they just go watch game for go set confusion no more. I think the rate at which football hooliganism don't drop in the UK, I think it's drastic. It's very, very great to the extent that you hardly see football hooliganism anymore. But it still does exist, but maybe it's not in the eyes of people anymore. Because like a game like this, England-Scotland, that is going to be a serious fight on and off the pitch. When I say on the pitch, the players then will be so aggravated against each other because then we don't get a couple of banters there before the game. And then the fans them, of course, you get the English football talks the way they prepare for ready for go face a fight with the Scottish football talks the way we all know what's the problem. And also, as you said earlier on, the rivalry between them two countries there, so it's not just about football. It involves so many other things that we make them get this kind of strong amount of rivalry. But when it comes to that one day, as we watch the game still, so far, we don't play 16 minutes of the game don't play so far. And England seems for the on the another miss again from England. That's a free okay offside. But that was a clear chance. That was a clear chance. It's good that you guys this is not England, so we're not gonna say they didn't take their chances against Scotland because Scotland will not say Ibad say if they get a first opportunity for attack against England, they will take those chances. So what do you think about the game so far before we come back to this knitting?
England they're in control, to be honest, because then they keep the ball more and they're more precise on then the attack. We do not make few attacks away from be a possible goal, but it's just a lucky at the moment. As I said to you, not so an easy game. There's so many ways now for you get a result when you play a match. You understand? You can let your opponents get the ball, but you get your own game plan. So okay, let them get the ball. We're just gonna lock the space. We're not going to score goals. You understand? But if England, I repeat, if England score one goal, then it will be easy for them. But now, what you see now, we see Scotland they play behind the ball more.
Yeah.
You just get one player up front, and then get more bodies in the midfield and defense. You understand? Then they hope now, their own game plan now, they hope say England will attack, yes, right, but there will be a moment when they will get play on the break and then attack England. And
so then they rely on the counter-attack for now.
Yes, mind you, what you need for watch now on the pitch, England, they play high up the pitch.
Yeah.
Watch them, then centre-backs them, then they all win at the centre. And then the entire team, they play inside Scotland, they have. It's good for look, you understand, when you look him as a fan, but it's very, very dangerous. As a technical
well, it depends on the pace. As like you say, like you say, it depends on the pace of the striker. Because the Scottish striker we then gets right now, Shea Adams, and if you say Shea Adams has been a very influential player within the Championship League or so?
No, it's Southampton.
Okay. Southampton is still in the
Premier League.
Yeah.
Premier League. Okay, sorry. So basically, it don't make a lot of noise in the Premier League, and I believe say England not go just give them an eye just for the fact say okay now small ball and now Scotland, so then for just ignore the fact say well then can deal with that. Do you think is it going to be a threat against the English defense?
As I say, they have to be careful. They have to be careful. Okay. He's quick, he's strong, and technically good.
So by the way, what's it? Go on.
You look at Southampton in the left hand. They get very quick players in the left side. Robertson and that other people we've been the Arsenal. With the Arsenal.
Okay, you talk about Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland, yeah.
Okay.
So if you watch them, anytime the ball they play on the left, you just see there's something to happen.
So you believe say the left side didn't get them power?
Yeah. I didn't strength the so we get to watch all that. You have to be careful.
Okay. Let's come back to the knee thing. We realize say before the kickoff, the 1 or 30 seconds of the knee was done by almost all the players on the pitch.
Scotland, even the reserve players, they all come down towards the grass and do them. Scotland.
So why do you think they embraced it so much this time around? Wow, that's a shot over the bar. So why do you think they embrace this knee thing so much this particular time around, even though there is a lot of ooh-ah within the competition itself, people that are saying, oh, let the game play, now too much of waste of time. It's only 30 seconds. So why do you think, say, Scotland, they even use them soft tissue, them count down the grass and give the knee? What is the significance of that to them? Because they only have one black player.
Yeah,
are they seeing themselves like minorities as well, or otherwise?
Obviously, they just respect the knee thing and values for human. It's the values. How much value things. Like That's all it happen. Because if you go to some other places and we don't get value for that thing and value for that word racism, now the minority you see go with the instruction and respect what and tell them to do. But when you get more values for, you understand, for humanity, you get more people who they take them on board.
Now with the derby, which one will be your best derby, England, Scotland, where you enjoy most over the years in the European tournament there? Also, because me one day we are specifically
now one number you get for call because that Gascoigne in that 90 was it 96?
You 96, yes.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you want to talk about. I even watch them today.
Okay.
I watched that today. When Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer with them, how you call himself, Mika Richards, then make a documentary about that.
Okay. You know, say that particular goal celebration day of Gaza and a confirmation for saying I'm away with the drink, now be alcoholic.
So now show so.
That is just what the celebration. Wait for them to go, it's cut and you open your mouth. Then pour the bottle and mouth. Yes. Now the alcohol celebration, I get it so. It was a very interesting match anyway, because that goal day is possibly one of the best Gaza goal ever.
Okay.
One of the best Gaza
on the chest
ever.
On the chest.
The ball not drop on the chest, he come, he bail him over the player in aid, the ball still not drop, boom. That was a classic goal. I never see Gaza score any kind of goal like that anymore. That was the ending of Gaza anyway, because after that you go 1960, now in Kenya begin go down the drain, now we go play for Glasgow, and then he begin can't get within drink problem and all the other problem now we can't get alongside football. We're not been too great for him anymore. But you feel to say some of the rivalry really between Scotland and England, we not to just about football. What not you other stuff there if you say did
Well, now you get for explain to me what you, because I mean I can go too deep with the rivalry with other things. I'm not saying on the political side also. There's a lot going on we know about. And then war with them you don't get, and between them all this just all political. So it makes it more tense situation between them. Anytime when they meet or something, everybody want for proof say, you understand, is the best.
We are a better nation than you.
Yes, even when the game they play now, you they see. Even if Scotland get for we lost all kind game, you understand, then no one lost this. If England can lost any game, then no one lost this. So it make it be more interesting. And you they see where the game they go. And they tell you, get them for me. I'm not saying England will win this game, but in the game I will run for the money.
But you go end up for me a big game. Well, me not the England per se. If I go for support any team right now for this particular game now, Scotland are the support. Sure. 110%. You forget I get Scottish speaking. So basically, now Scotland are the right now. Not England will put me captain for that way I'm back. Because sure, 110%. If I for support any country and then 2 years right now Scotland I go support. So basically, I would say you're right, women. We did Scotland all the way to the North England. Or today I don't pull me jersey now, Scottish jersey now way today. I didn't wear the England jersey at all. But look, we go no more small kele. Yeah, like I would say, we talk about the rivalry between England and Scotland. Yeah, it's highly politically motivated, extremely, and also the English they see the Scottish like they're like a way Arab man they see the black Arab like they enslave them. So the English they look at the Scottish them at some point, and you could be amazed that every law in Scotland is not the same as the law inside England. Now, 2 different jurisdictions. Basically, every law within the practice in Scotland, they not get nothing to do with the English law. It's a total different ball game. All their rules are not the same, even to their currency. They have their own Scottish pounds. They don't have the English pound where they do. Then they use them, but they get their own Scottish pound. Then get their own Scottish passports. Then get everything where they do in Scotland is totally different from England. So that's one of the biggest rivalry with the. It's highly politically motivated. And we all now know the issue of this Brexit thing where Scotland not really for come out in Europe because they are still thinking they're still Europeans. And as far as they're concerned, they voted to remain in Europe. So basically, they're still using all the European systems the way they're supposed to use, everything they in effect. Because as far as they're concerned, the country voted to stay in Europe, and they are in Europe. Okay, England not just miss again. Harry Kane, when you go begin score, man, come on, hurry up.
No Sabisco.
I don't say Femi, you go talk to no Sabisco. Femi, I go bring you come in whenever you want to, but definitely, you know, say now you are relying right now. So I get for the hold you away from the scheme at some point, but your voice will be very vital as well. So definitely you can come in with your voice and we will make things easy a bit. Okay, that's Shay. Oh, the English Shay, number 10 jersey. Very interesting. That number 10 jersey, it hard for me to give 14 in Scotland. Oh, you remember the player where be the Wegam?
McCoist?
Yes, Ali McCoist. But the only player wearing the number 10 jersey. So if you see the 10 jersey, then that means they believe you. Bang, bang, bang. They really believe you. But yeah, we'll talk about the rivalry. Even when Gaza go play and in Kenya, Scotland, he did not have an easy time while he was there. They gave him a hell of a nightmare because even though they say, okay, now Englishman, but he go play for the opposite club where get the worst rivalry back inside Scotland itself, when Glasgow Rangers and Celtic. So those two are not joking. Now England and Ireland, so inside Scotland. So that's the challenge that they have. So just imagine within the Scotland itself, they have a division with the clubs then. Because one particular club they win in the call like, okay, this is the English club, then are the Glasgow Rangers, and then the Celtic, then are the Irish club, we then believe so then are the Ireland. So then get a political divide force inside Scotland. And now England they don't divide with and get with Scotland in just worse. So there is a lot of issue where I feel to say then two countries also get. And during the England-Scottish War, I think now the Scottish man hates the English people. They're so bad to the extent that you can't even ask Scottish man, are you English? You go vex because they feel betrayed, they feel gutted, they felt in a way that they've been treated like nothing. Just like I say, the Arabs, and you look at the black Arabs and like the enslaved. Femi, that bring you come in here. We cannot foresee don't follow a lot of this game.
Yes, yeah.
So what's it going to be? Go on, Molai.
Femi, and I don't cut you what?
You don't cut that?
Remember, I tell you, see, anytime when Scotland they play on the left, there's something to happen.
Yeah.
Check how many positive moves they would not make na the left. And if na that side, no more England one go through, na Scotland and left side, it will be difficult. Because you go Robertson and you go Tierney. They're both left wing backs. They're full of energy, very aggressive.
So you're saying they have a solid wing back on the left, so you can't really mess around them.
They use these two of them. They're the same. Tierney from Arsenal, Robertson from Liverpool. These are very, very, very effective players in the Premiership. Top left wing backs. So now they're using one of them as the left winger and then the other one as the fullback.
As a fullback. Wow.
Fullback, yeah. So that side, watch the game. It's not easy for you to penetrate.
All right, so Femi, bring you come in now. Your take. Your take on the knee, your take on the game so far, and your take on the rivalry.
Okay, so I want begin with the one who na just done pan. Yeah, the rivalry. Literally, you know, Blackpool Lions, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Now the Blackpool Lions are in the place right now of the international the international game. I think say Brazil Argentina itself just as bad, but I think say this one then just not let them safe for nothing.
No.
When it comes to even club football, Glasgow Celtic against Glasgow Rangers. Now other crazy one. Then you get obviously the great Liverpool with the noisy neighbors, the Manchester United or whatever they call themselves. Then guy we pretend say they are the best team that you all. You know, you get them. You get Inter Milan against AC Milan. You get but other than imports the rival.
Republican.
Port and Lounge.
Yes, they're not be like them safe. But he as big as Blackpool Lions.
Now when Chico Miles begin play for Ports, now they can get issued Lounge.
Okay, so literally, this is when we talk about rivalry. This is not the problem, Dandy. So anybody will know any of them team and they would don't call. Obviously, you get Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah, although you know both teams are going to say they get local rivals, but that's the rivalry. Even United, they local rivals na City. But I believe say the biggest rival na England na Liverpool. You know, Arsenal.
Really, worst one na Brazil. Boca Juniors against
go on, Flamengo.
No, Flamengo. Now
Okay.
Boca Juniors.
Let we they go first. So the point I want to make is rivalry na very, you know, I think it's very important for football and for the world. First they will get disagreements, we they go take weapon, we go fight. That country they go bomb that country, then send almost to Germany. But right now 1-9 and so now 11 man they represent the country. So you know it's friendly, but some games them is not too friendly. We can see some man in the commot with serious injury them. We don't see broke foot them. You know, referee forget a serious hard game. Sometimes referee for allow game there for flow because if understand say tension there between them club there also. So anyway,
Femi, I think Femi. I think
yes,
Italy na Lazio and Roma na
Lazio Roma. Yes, Lazio Roma. Then you get Inter Milan and AC Milan. Then I think the two main one in we talk about Italian football. You talk about Gaza. Gaza was possibly the biggest export of English football to Italy. And then they make television begin interested in Italian football. Because I think they call her Italia. I can't remember what's in the name, but Sky Sports were running crazy when Gaza go there, and it was a good thing. It made, I think, he added to the spice of the Premiership, and obviously when he went to Glasgow, he made a big impact. That goal against Scotland, I believe, actually they playing at Glasgow at the time. We scored that goal. So I guess he wasn't a very popular man after the game we go back for go playing at Glasgow. But it's interesting.
Now, after the tournament, now you go end up for playing at Glasgow.
Okay, I've been feeling I've been on the day before. So yeah, so then the rivalry now, you know, it's incredible. Chelsea and Tottenham, they don't like them safe. Chelsea, Arsenal, they not like them safe. As you can hardly see player they come on now one club go now that club. So that's how bad the has to be. It like you can give me your money. I don't want your money. I don't want your money because I know they sell me player give you. That's how you know. Would they see one player them? Where they cross carpet, but usually they can go to other club first before they end up yonder. I remember Liverpool ended up by Paulins, but he went somewhere else before he got Liverpool. You know, we get
Liverpool was it Inter Milan?
Yes.
Paulins, Inter Milan.
Yes, Inter Milan before he got Liverpool.
Go Inter Milan.
Yeah, then you know you get a few of them. Arsenal and Chelsea and Tottenham don't see if I don't trade player them in recent years.
Sol Campbell and Adebayo.
Sol Campbell left Tottenham, he go Arsenal. When I be the biggest mistake that night in life we ever do. Because that turns him for the rest of his football career will be the Arsenal. Because those are the biggest rivals for the area and then you can left Tottenham. You go Arsenal. Come on, that was a big mistake.
So easy for.
They even get on death straight. They want to go on you also.
I mean, it's possible. As I say, we get recently we get the Brazilian defender we play for Chelsea. Then he go end up play for Arsenal. Your name don't escape me. Luis. Yeah, you get him. You have a few people who don't do but really, most of the time then you go via other club. Giroud in go direct.
William Gallas said do
William Gallas in go direct.
Arsenal and then
yes. So I say Arsenal then Chelsea and Tottenham then seem to be a little bit more relaxed nowadays than even be before. You get West Ham against Millwall. They one in that in a serious fates battle. So it's interesting how football don't become. But now if we look at the whole racism thing when I've been talking about just now, as in taking the knee, most of them games are so the players they hate themselves, the club they hate themselves, but it always ends up in a handshake or even at least even in a not shake that they vex, but the next day they're all cool. But now you get racism. You get player them, even at Liverpool, player will be like Luis Suarez. They accuse him for being racist against
Evra.
Yes, Evra. At the time, obviously, me and Liverpool man, I backed the guy because then denied the talk, then say he not do him. Up to today, he say he not do him. But me and Liverpool, I backed it. I believe the hype. Liverpool club, then go them print t-shirts them against Evra, then say no do him, blah blah blah. Make whole heap of things. That would the reply, then they come out and can't say, then think say that thing was a mistake by the club and by themselves. So you understand, some people don't get educated over the last few years. But really and truly, I think say the taking the knee is important because it is show collective support. Yeah, like today, so we not see one player team the team up. They all go down, then discuss them, they all agree, say this is what we're going to do, and then do the referee, then they do. So you understand, it's for me it's a good symbol. It shouldn't stop there because really and truly racism does not stop when the football game stop. Racism does not stop. We end up it's not the word. We come out at the front page, the front screen, we really corner them, we open with Twitter accounts and we send message them because I think he call them people and the keyboard warriors. You get people and they're gonna pop, they don't drink Lily Beats, then Canada, then see black man, then see you F in this, you F in that. You understand? There's for me I think the problem isn't a football problem. And at the moment, society don't make it look like it's a football problem. We need to carry on the education of people and for make them understand which they do say is wrong, and then they chastise the football player them. It's not a football problem. When England go play in the Eastern European country, then come back and say, oh, then content the racist, look what's in the black player them. But they can forget say weekend they come. As the next weekend comes, so there will be a preach high and mighty. Now there are people and they do even worse. Black players, if me say get bad games, so I can't join Twitter account. But some of we, as Pamola say, we don't go through serious racism. So although yes, we agree with racism in which they see on Twitter and then bad, but I think say when you don't experience certain other things, then certain things we able to tolerate. As favorite saying when I've been small, like my parents and teach me for say sticks and stones will break my bones, once will never hurt me. So you can talk till you tire. Once can physically can't touch me, then I go ignore you. Yeah, when you talk till you tire, now you go say too much. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we get for try for support the one way they go through on a daily basis and make them know say it's not the end of the world. that guy they entitled to your opinion. Left him if he's like that. Most people like parents have for blame. Don't react. And we go keep on telling the message. So then they talk their own, we go talk with you. I take the knee, fine. You not take the knee, but not can impose your own belief on me. That's my answer to the whole thing. If you think it's a political campaign, I make most probably you're just looking for an excuse. You're just looking for an excuse because sometimes behind closed doors you get your older with one party them where they tell you say me I'm not go do that who's kind of rubbish than they because maybe they're racist. Yeah, and sometimes you don't understand. Say that's the problem. So and take the knee or and support somebody to take the knee because say sometimes some of you fumble them not go approve of you doing so. But as we can always say, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So if you not get any good thing for say to me but that, not say nothing at all.
Okay, I agree with you, Femi, at some point on that, but also everybody get rights to their opinion. Anything you choose to do is your right. And make sure say your opinion, not to something where you impose upon somebody because your opinion is just your opinion. But I not say there is another form of rivalry between players them at different clubs then we don't become hot topic like the Premiership at some point in time. You get the Ian Wright against Peter Schmeichel. You get the Patrick Vieira against Roy Keane. And you get few more of those strong arch rivalry on the pitch to the extent that anytime Ian Wright they play against Peter Schmeichel, it's either or do or die. I go scupper you. No, the first scupper me, I go broke your foot. We don't see some kind of tackle that we don't happen between two players and we've been very, very physical. And we don't also see Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane don't begin the fight from the change from the changing room, take kind of the tunnel, say they're going to the pitch. But like Femi say, they always have a handshake after the match. The rivalry it goes so strong before the match, even when the match is on. But after the match, they always give themselves a handshake and then walk away. So it's very nice for mix and bring them. I watch few program with them, bring them few playing together on the pundits at some international match will be happen for say. You remember nowadays them of football rivalry. What's not gonna be doing that crazy thing in there? But they don't have any reason for that other than it's just a game. And the game we don't get to some point that Ian Wright can be honest. Sometimes he will tell you exactly what's making me the pissed off with the fact say he can get for do all kind of things possible for score against Peter Schmeichel. Well, we just done the first half of the England-Scotland game and it's 0-0. So we wait now and see what's going to happen. More like what's your prediction? The first half done. Because you can get prediction for second half though.
I mean, I tell you, say, not a tight game. So you don't see the first half. And even Scotland end up the first half stronger.
Okay.
They end up stronger.
So they had more attack than England at the end of the first half.
Yes, England gets a very good start. But the last 15 minutes, you just see Scotland get into the game. Waiting, the fee say England get for do. I feel say they go for change one defensive midfielder. They go for take one defensive midfielder out.
And bring come an attacker.
Yeah, bring come an offensive player.
For add more strength to the attack.
Yes, so
because they don't seem to be attacking much at all.
Yeah.
They just
So between Declan Rice and Phillips, I believe they will take one off. From waiting to see. Because the tempo looks slower. Me man, you understand? Me man, Harry Kane, is still defining fit.
Still a struggle.
Yeah, when I saw kids talk about as coach, still defining fit them. So, England tempo slow.
So what's it make in this position, in this situation, we still get Harry Kane to play, even though not say it is struggle, or he's still defining fit? Is it because of his experience, or is somebody that they believe can score at any given point in time?
Yeah. It poses a lot of threats because of the quality that we get. Not day into the game, no means say he abilities them, not useful.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you keep them. Because even when you get guys like Cristiano Ronaldo, then Messi, most times you see say, even if they're not into the game, the actions they know that not that much, but they still keep them.
Okay.
Because it's because of the quality.
Okay. Well, I'll bring Femi. Femi, you want to make a comment to that earlier on?
Yeah, I'm just want to say, certain player they ask for sub, or they ask for pulling a game, especially when the game just begin. First of all, not the England captain, and as Bamola say, he can score at any time. He's known for that. He's known for his goal scoring. But I really believe I can in terms of pass. I'm not saying at the top scorer at the English game, but I think that was because by default the other striker they not turn up. Liverpool gets a very bad season this year, and then top striker just miss out by not one goal. Probably then gets a bad season. So you understand, certain thing if you consistent, you do something, it achieve greatness because other people they perform. You give the opportunity for winner, but things are done they happen to Harry Kane. He seems to have lost a lot of pace, although he not be ever gets pace. So I think it is struggle now with the transition of in game. I believe these tournaments get for be in waiting they define in career. And also Bokumani can cost me, but we will see what happens in transfer after this tournament. He might have a big transfer, which I than the Almighty thinks but then we will see in the next season or two if you will repeat what he don't do so far for Chelsea for Tottenham. That's my belief.
Femi,
yes, sir. Sorry, say that again.
Now, sportsman sit down before you, sir.
Cool. So you're not sportsman. So explain to me how you feel with Harry Kane don't go. Well, where he don't ask for go.
Now Harry Kane ask for go, not just a media hype. I can never get that discussion there with Spurs. Now Gary Neville go play golf with Harry Kane. Then get a conversation. He can make a now, you understand? He make a now a media kind of thing where Yusuf can do because you get that protocol there for make something out of something.
Well, more like
officially
for like you senior company player make such kind of statement about you wanted to leave your club. It's not an easy thing for someone who can say just like that in a joke.
Then discuss, he ask him, say, who are the best midfielder we feel say in dream for play with? And then he say Kevin De Bruyne.
So basically now Chelsea Kevin De Bruyne.
No, Man City.
Okay, Man City, sorry.
Yeah. So it just an honest, you understand, not just the game inside. Because you don't see what Kevin De Bruyne doing at the pitch. You don't play against him so many times. Never can I make a story. You understand? I did a sports site every day. I can never discuss it with sports.
Okay. But
the only thing sports not get any intention for selling. But if the actual price come to Spurs will sell them.
What's not the actual price? Because I cannot go watch that much of millions there right now because in seasons are not much left. I would say give and take, he get possibly one solid season.
No, Harry Kane is still young. How old is he? He's still young. He's got lots to give.
29, 28.
These are the two different things in football. Harry Kane is a striker. And if he's now going to be 29, going to be 30, I don't think there is much of his footballing career left because he don't begin play another position they at the top range of football in the Premiership for more than 5 years, for more than 7 years, for almost 10 years or more. And imagine how much thing will take away from yourself as a striker for the banging goal week in, week out, the amount of time you cover that pitch for making it at that top range there. Currently, I don't think Harry Kane will have any more than 2 solid football seasons in the Premiership. Except if you're going to a club where you go jackass for him, then they work for him for making the score. Just like we make mention, no more say, he go left for play under the brand. Because he believes that body go able for make it gets couple of service. Yeah, he go able for get more service. So basically, at the moment, it got all the way countdown for can receive the ball for England, and he's not of that type of player for Tottenham. Tottenham don't always keep him up there, supply the ball for him. Then they give him at least a minimum of 5 crosses per game. He get a chance for take 1, but that's not the way England play right now. And if you're gonna team where they play with the flank a lot, then he gets potential for score more goals because it means he gets minimum of 10 crosses per game. And if you give Harry Kane that kind of opportunity, there is no way no go be 1 or 2. So that's the advantage of him. But I think overall, he possibly might want to leave Tottenham, even if you not say him. But who money they lie? Over to you, Femi.
Well, if I cannot go that ball, we put in the sooner once.
Eh? Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you, say yes, they go power, but I just say there's a possibility to say he must have said something for me and get that kind of woman. Go on, Femi.
We always say Harry Kane asked Tottenham for left. And when the story break, all the media houses then at the UK cover. All from newspaper to it was breaking news. Because we did hear the speculation nearly every day, but when the news break, everything will cover people and cover them. It was breaking news na BBC. It was breaking news na Sky Sports. It was breaking news na all side, all newspaper the next day, front page. No matter what happened, front sports page. That was the breaking news. I'm not gonna doubt if you not go because sports and chairman na serious businessman, you know. And if you know answer the player, he's going to put a high demand, high price spanner. And very few club them, especially in this COVID times, where they not don't make the millions of profits they can usually make, go able for afford for pay. And I believe, my belief again. The top club them we go afford for PM will not want to buy Harry Kane. I don't think the Madrids, I don't think the Barcelonas, I don't think the PSGs go entertain player of Harry Kane type. I don't think most of the top Italian team then Juventus then go encourage her. Maybe Roma, because then can always buy retire player them. Or player that we will retire. I think he will stay in the Premiership. I no good doubt if you go United desperate for a striker at the moment. Although Cavani don't decide for stay. Man City might go there because they get Boku's command them. Then can take even if not 10 goals if you give them, it's something. But let's not forget Harry Kane takes all of Spurs in penalty them. So if we pull all in penalty, then they will get for a look at let's look at how many goals he actually scored. So Bokutin we get for look at in football we the prize player them. But he's a good player, don't get me wrong. I think the 2 games they would have watched for England so far I have not been impressed. As T-Boy say, he seems to be dropping in midfield, which he can do for Tottenham as well. I not think he gets the skill level or the fitness for able for do that role properly.
Well, are you muted? Well, I totally agree with you, Fabi. Like I say, I'm not saying more like they can't challenge the Tottenham fit. But more like, sorry, we get Edward Wilson at the group. Indeed, I can request for talk to in chairman, and telling chairman say he want for left the club, and in chairman advice and say, well, you have 3 more years on your contract, so what do we do? wait for the highest bidder. And like Femi say, I don't think there's any team right now expecting we're very desperate to sign Harry Kane, possibly over 20 million. But that's even Boku. And obviously, any team right now for
I'm not talking 20 million, no, can't fit any man.
Me say, me say that, not to you. I just put a price on them. Say that I don't see any team where they can buy Harry Kane 20 million.
I think say Daniel Levy go wants over 100 million pounds for him. And that's I think say go be problem.
15 player in Brazil.
That will be a problem for most teams. If we get to be honest in this day and age. If not been 2-3 years ago, maybe. Yeah. And then you're not getting for doing football skills. I think it's very few players in the now we go move from club to club for anything above 100 million. Pass if that team they really and truly wants that player. So he has to be exceptional. He has to be marketable. But yeah, Harry Kane is marketable because David Beckham go Madrid and then say within the 4th season, she shots the normal way and sell within Impanam, pass the money within the pay am. So you understand?
Yeah,
so
not Harry Kane. You can't compare Harry Kane.
No, Harry Kane in England is very powerful. Not a cam.
Yes, in England, of course, in England.
Not a cam. But that's all I gotta say for now on Danny. But when I talk about number 10, Che Adams. What was Salomon?
Yeah.
I mean, really truly, almost country, you get post in Inchi. Almost man, in Inchi. As I be me good party with the London, yeah, so Saloma in Inchi. We get in a salon, so also that country there. Okay, some people he call and Che.
C'est un Liberian. C'est un Liberian.
Well, I know what's in a Liberian, but yes, then the call player they will name Che.
Because
it's gonna Liberian.
Not to Salon people this is got Liberian connection. Kuru and Bassa. And then they get a name the Che.
Yes, now Kuru people then.
Yeah, we get an amateur say get more if you go to Liberia and get more Che because of that Bassa Kuru. They more crews and Bassa in Liberia.
You're right. That he might be Liberian, but he. Sorry.
I could say, no more you get a name.
Indeed, could so them Mokude.
Yes,
of course, they are Sierra Leoneans.
Almost all the children within that song.
His surname na Adams. So something I'm not checking who's properly. Something now we picking or now we never picking. But anyway, talking about him, he's a very good striker. I don't follow him at Southampton. Southampton see for they play good football lately. They had at one point in this season they were there vying for Europe. They kind of fall apart towards the end of the season, but I think he was one of the one that will stand out. And
because let me get a lot of injuries then.
Yes, I hope no more Scotland use him wisely. He looks like he can control the ball, he can run the line, he gets a good shot, and he looks strong and willing to express himself. So I think Scotland gets a gem there. But I think England will still win this game. The Scottish League is terrible. They get for fixture. You can't get two teams really play football all the balance they can watch now. Because literally that's what I call it. Glasgow Celtic can't play. The opponents them hardly do anything. The same thing with Rangers. So they need for I think open that league they up and try for bring more money in so that they can develop their sports. They even worse than Salon League. They tell you game not in a play. Like now we don't begin challenge. So if Scotland not take care, will they beat them?
Femi again.
I'm not going to say much on that, Femi, but what I believe now the fact say for like England beat Scotland right now, you got to take more than that 11 man they were in at the pitch because right now Scotland don't enough planning. And yes, we try for find out more about Shea, and then we'll be able to see exactly what's in the happen at the second half of the England-Scotland game. But so far, the first half done, and nearly the second half is just nearly about to started. And I still get a reward with the comments on the Harry Kane in signing fee. You say Harry Kane, they asked for 150 million. Oh my God.
Not in their school, not in the club wants for him. Not Daniel Levy say he wants for him.
150 million for Harry Kane. Which one? There are 15 Brazilian. Famana, if they give 150 million right now, you as manager for Tottenham, you go buy Hurricane, then you left 5 Brazilian where that money they go give you. What's he going to do that? To be very honest, as a coach.
Because Hurricane don't win Gold King in 3rd time this. And for the past 5 seasons, he is among the top 3 top goal scorers in the Premiership. So he is consistent. You understand? He deliver. And scoring goals is one of the most important things in football. You see, you already create goal. You already score goal. You understand? They got different price tag.
Okay,
first,
I certainly agree.
First, you already create goal. You already score goal. And then you already stop the goal.
Goal stoppers. So
yeah.
Goalkeeper and interactive, disruptive midfielder.
Good.
And then could talk about the centre back, but the disruptive midfielder where they cut the play, where they make that play not complete at all for making it in a year half. Now that's not the position where I'm sabi for play. The tire I don't begin for retire. Well, yeah, as the go on.
Na position back, you don't need to forget all the energy in the world. You just you game insights now for good.
Yeah.
You understand? Some players, most of the players the way you see effective so in that position, they're not the quickest. But in timing, very good.
No, I mean in my days when
some players in the way they game it just based on precision. You know when to go, intercept. You understand? When for tackle, when for press. So all these things get for duty game insights. And if you watch most of them, people in the PCA pass you get you forget a lot of energy for play a midfield role. No. Or if for quick, if for strong, you forget this. But you watch all them Puyol, this guy for Juventus. We've been there as Juventus the manager now. This small Italian, Femino in him.
Conti. Conti.
He just left recently.
Conti.
He just left.
Yes. Small Italian player, he's a big place, very clever. He's not the quickest.
Oh, that Conte?
No. You always coach Italy this season, that clever Italian player. Just look for a name, nobody. Always coach Italy wouldn't just sack this few months. When you look them Busquets, them Makalele, these are not quick players. They're not quick players, but they're very, very intelligent. They read the game so good. Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick, Alonso, these are all, they're not the quickest. But trust me, nothing that go past them. And that
yeah, but a different goal you talk about now.
So
the goal where I can play. I can't play them play the week also. I can't play that game day.
No, we talk about holding players first. With T-Boy the talk. With Hurricane role as a goal scorer, you if you say 150 million now na boku money, Femi, you go be surprised. You go be surprised. You will be surprised.
I agree. Say it's not a lot of money, because we don't see Boku player then go for the around the money then they. But here they say is, with the lockdown, the effects say club them then the months then literally almost lock. Then the month them be lock for several months them they play an empty stadium them. That revenue they don't be in the camp.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's a lot of money. Some big club themselves been a struggle. They're not gonna come out playing and tell you, but not forget to then get shareholders the way they get for accounts for. So for now can pull 150 million like so and pay for certain player, then you still get for pay the player in wages.
Well, now the reason this makes possible they ask for that money because we don't want to sell them.
Yeah, and as I said before, Daniel Levy now in statements Dandy.
So they ask for money now, we say that money now, we say Boku. you would just left Hurricane Safu, and then we continue in project with Spurs. So Femi, T-Boy, when I see Scotland and game planning, they are more organized.
And so talking about Scotland, and they don't begin kind of the game small, but they're good. Me not doubt Scotland. I just think they're not going to beat England. But talking about Scotland and talking about Aiken worth 150 million, then almost a goal scoring defender where they provide ball them from the left. If they defend great, if they score goal, if they cross, if they supply goal, almost a go worth. Waiting at Scotland, they left back so right now.
Tierney, Robertson?
No. Robertson.
The Liverpool player.
Of course, that's all that team I could talk about. Almost in go worth right now. If goal scorer just score a few goals pass and no more, we're in the front, so this man in a defender. Mr. T-Boy.
No, let me answer that question because I'm more like anyone for talk about in
that's a team, but I don't got to know too.
That's a different.
Because they talk about me, I never defend anyway.
That's a different valuation. Nobody not go sleep in the net. You tell you say Robertson value past Hurricane. Realistically, if you call Salah, you call Mane, Firmino, then you don't come very close for compared to Robertson.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I just want to see what you go see Yanda, because you've been praised Robertson, so I just want to see this Bobo. I wonder if we would check the stats then. Defender almost goal, the striker don't score and the defender don't score. Almost goal and don't provide in each. Because you go find assists on 10 goal number, I cannot score passer.
Yeah, but how many assists? I can make the highest assist in the Premiership.
Yes, he did.
And the highest goal scorer.
Yeah, but they play right front. This is what they play bien.
Well, you see, one thing for the Premier League, we sometimes I can find very strange for say it is not the same type like the Scottish League. And I don't say it don't change right now, but I think 10 years ago the Premier League was just based on one particular team, first, second, third, either Manchester United, Arsenal, or Chelsea. Before it can change to Manchester United, Arsenal, yes, still in at the front, contending seats. Then you get now the third position be dictated by somebody else. But that lasted for years before it changed now where Southampton, other teams then begin win. Blackburn can then win it go, then other again can win next after Blackburn, win that fluke one season. Okay, Leicester CC back and win So from where Alex
not to fluke. Not to fluke. Then guy they win Boku game, then the top striker score not to 11 game in a row. You can't call that the fluke.
During the Leicester team, yes, it was a team that was not believed to have won the Premiership because they take them for granted.
And then we get Superman at midfield.
Yeah,
then we get Superman who would have been in a midfield, in a parade at midfield, they ally. You know that it's almost.
In Golo Kante.
So.
No, with Leicester, I agree. Say yes, it wasn't because they get out and get back. Maybe they score banging goals again. They underestimate them to the time where they realize the league don't they don't win the league done. So that was not a fluke, but it was a shock to the Premiership. But I think over the years, the Premiership has been dictated by Manchester United, Arsenal, and maybe Chelsea at some point. So then just those three clubs were.
Adams just missed for score, man.
I think so. We can pull Hurricane now finally. So that thing the Pamola no go argue again for the Hurricane scenario.
Adams just missed for Scotty boy. It would have been a wonderful goal.
I see him.
Anyway, talking about defender them, Molai, what do you think about what's his name, Bobo James? Now the England defense.
Reece James.
Yes. What do you think about him? What's your opinion as a coach?
I'll be honest to you, I like him because he's very versatile. You understand? He's very, very adaptable because when you look at Chelsea, when they play lately, most times you see them play as a right wing back. And then towards the end of the season, even the Champions League finals, you see and them come as a centre back, playing the back three. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
now one part about them after say England get very good right backs then. After Trent, one of the players that we get in all round play in defense, very, very good. Because he defend very well, and then he also good at going forward.
I totally agree with you. I like him as a player. I think he gets a great future, and I don't remember his age, but I think he's na young bobo.
Young, he's about 21.
Exactly. So I think he's got a great future ahead. I really like him. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan. I got it. Say Trent not make this trip because I think by all the bad season we Liverpool gets, I think he didn't play that badly. He got a lot of criticism because of people they expect of him. You know, we don't raise the bar. He asked for Olam for long, you know, and you know Robertson don't do him, but also all man go able because these guys now the wing then football very energetic because they get for go, they get for camp, they get for go, they get for camp, and if then you go, they get for deliver the crosses, you know, and Trent they take free kicks them, and they take corner kicks them, so I can wonder if club then they measure them player they also then game how it go rate. I mean I need to talk about skill level, but the physical thing, the amount of run they will do, the amount of turning they touch the ball. I wonder how his stats would be in the league really.
No, they always get them. Players will recover more distance. You get them. You get him.
Okay, it look like say then you can bring Aston Villa then Peleka inside. So
I will tell you say I will tell you say England need for pool one and defensive midfielders.
Yes, you talking. They need to move forward.
Yeah, they need to move forward.
So then you can put with that Grealish look like I see the change, eh?
Then go either pull Declan Rice or Phillips. Then we need to take one of them off.
Okay, so what's your opinion on Grealish as a footballer? And second, people are saying that behind Gaza he's the next best skillful English player. I don't hear even some people don't talk say he get more skill than Gaza. You as a professional in the game, what's your opinion? Then me go give me on. They are going to ask Botian.
Well. It's not a deep question you ask, so.
You catch it.
Me, I want to see him. I want to see him the next 2 seasons. Femi, I want to see him the next 2 seasons. I honestly want to see him because I don't see players then. Like when you look at a player like Kevin De Bruyne, you understand, when he left Chelsea, he go to Germany to Freiburg. He come back to the Premiership. From where he come to the Premiership, he's consistent. Grealish is a very, very good player. He's a talent. But I don't see him for maintain that.
So I feel say you almost they think the way me they think. So make I tell me, I think he's a good player. I think he's a skillful player. He's different to this English. Oh, he's different to the English players of Tradi. He able to hold the ball, able to move with the ball. If they give Malo at them, a card on the waist. You know, it's in a way African man look for see. But I think he slows the game down. You know,
let me say contribute to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that issue they miss every time. It's stop and start. It's too much playing game. Stop and start. And then some time then I can expect them for let it stand on the ground. But anytime they touch him, they didn't go. Anytime they touch him, they didn't go. So I can struggle with them kind of players. Like Messi Mount, you understand? I see him say he go play. He go play. Phil Foden.
Yeah, they don't pull Foden. And Grealish they kind.
Yeah. I see say Foden get for play. See the goal they miss by England, eh?
I'd say, you know, it not be that ball. Now James nine defend the ball. I tell you, see, so now make I say, you know, football na wonderful thing. It can go any side. You know, now like a biscuits. You like, know they crack the same side all the time.
For me, this one is not to biscuits. This na man game they play so. I'm not saying I know winner more, but I want to see.
But the best me go say the game go come on outdoor.
I want to see. I'm not saying I know, you know, but I want to see.
I come work today and I did London Bridge. If you see people them, I think see then they go get up go watch the games on side. I see English supporter them, but I see Scottish supporter them like crazy. They all tie their flag around their neck, then they go and sing London Bridge, front the station, down to the streets. So my God, I can imagine what's happening na the streets of London today.
Serious fight. I get the videos them. They fight serious one.
Well, Scottish fans then break the COVID rules. They say they take the COVID rule and they come with enough supporters them as much as they can. And actually they did. So I don't know how Wembley go there right now. Because they will get the big scheme outside Wembley, but I don't know how that particular place they go tell it right now. But the game will be very interesting to see how it will end. But the player will not be talk about Sojus now. I haven't watched football, seen him play lately, so I can't make much comparison. But I know for sure, say the only few players the way England don't produce where you go compare with Gaza, now few. McNanaman, Mathieu Letitia, of course, Gaza himself, and then you get few more other skillful players than where you go before say these are skillful born players that we go play football at any side of the world based on their skills. Yes, Molai.
Molai said Jokol.
Eh?
Jokol said not be a good player.
Yeah, Jokol said a good player.
I see him moves them.
I will take for schools first Jokol because Jokol
That's a two different
if I put the two, I'll take for schools more than Jokol.
There's two different.
But definitely, England has produced players that we sabi the ball. We know about the game. We they tell you say like Mathieu Letitia, there is a rumor says not to Englishman or Frenchman because he names a billion get French pronunciation. But he is possibly the best player ever. The man, he play football, he old, but he still the play. And anytime he ready for play in wonderful football now against the Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. Now they show say bang is a big play ball. Because when they say this game is tight.
Well, Usat's good day for talk. Gaza was exceptional. Gaza, the kind of football with Gaza they play was not respected na this side of the world. Na this country in particular, they still respect them. Letizia, they all play na that era day. You know, McManaman. So some of them players who they call, they were exceptional. They were good players. You forget who been get Waddle. So he was a good player. So, you know, England gets them.
Glenn wasn't as great as Chris in terms of their skills or their skills.
As you say,
I remember Glenn, Chris Waddle.
So, you know, it's interesting how football don't change. You know, but earlier on, I mean, talk about the different kind of midfielder them. Yeah, when I talk about, you know, Makalelis of this world, the Patrick Vieira's of this world. These guys were unsung heroes. They also had school for talk. I wonder really and truly if you rate down and the kind of work with them they do for them, club them, how much they would be worth. N'Golo Kante, I mean, at the moment he's won everything. He began winning at Leicester, all man take him. They not take the guy seriously. He's done it at Chelsea, don't do it for France. It's literally the little Superman. It's Alex, we they watch him, because obviously we not play against him. We they watch, it's Alex, the team where they play forget 13 man. Because in one green, not 2 man. In one green, not 2 man plus in himself. So now then 3 days at the pitch. That's how, the guy seem for they also he breaks down the ball and he starts things going. He even dribble go forward. So for me, he's a good player. Obviously, he's not in the class of the one they would call just now, the front player they would call just now. But I think, I love the game of football. I love different position them. I love right backs. I love left backs. I love their winger, the way they play at the wrong wing. Where they cut sky inside. Chelsea them get one. Let me get 2.
We call them inverted.
Ruben.
That's why you call it inverted. I love for see them play then the way see they go down the line. See now right footman they play at the left wing. We see cut sky inside no more. See now danger don't cancel. So just let me get Ruben, then let me get one Irish guy. I don't forget his name. Get with here soon. If they play na the one wing, Ruben they play na the other wing. Now his name don't escape me, but football is interesting. Sorry?
Dove.
Yes, you're correct. He was a brilliant player too. And I be Irish, eh?
Yes, Dove Irish.
Yes, so I wonder what happened to that.
Very stubborn player.
Mr. Mola, what they talk about, what happened to player then? So can I ask you a question? As a man in football, I should say you go remember a player with him Eric Cantona. I remember Eric Cantona scored a goal na Old Trafford. He ace in collar. He turned around, he spread the angle like say one jumping jack flash. He just posed it, then he turned around the stadium. The whole Manchester United stadium went crazy. Even the supporter of the team who scored against themselves clapped a little bit. What happens as a coach? What do you think happens when the light goes off, when the noise stops? Every day you score them kind of wonderful goal and you get 50, 60, 90,000 people in the Allah for you get all the other on television with the Allah. Then all of a sudden one day you wake now, something that you're picking no more or you're away from no more than us. Nobody shouts your name. What happens to you, your mentality? How do players cope after retirement? The one that we sometimes retire from old age, or the one that sometimes get injury. I know a couple of strikers. Them I think we get injured and get for left the game early. What happens to the one in the mental status?
Well, let me you see all man get way they handle things. See some man they were mentally not strong. Most of the ex-footballers they were not strong. You can see them then going to kind of addiction, drinking, or dip and drug, or gambling. There's so many things. We think he even end up being.
Is it because then they try for Fenway half occupied in time? Or
yes.
So the question, what's in the club then? The club then they do anything because it's such a short life. So even if you play, say your career done, most of them players so then career done before they're all 40. And I see boy say the other power that show you see life begins at 40.
Now Femi, the clubs and they prepare you. And they prepare you.
How?
In fact, most of them were so now way this is so. Before you reach then 24, 25, they don't even get the UEFA B coaching experience. You understand? then before 24-25, they don't get UEFA big coaching experience. Because now, in a part of UEFA, you get the technical school and then funny football education then. Because they know say anything can happen when you play. So you can get an injury with a wreck your career.
So is that going for all the players them or specific players or normal only?
Now the pro players, then they encourage you. I'll give you an example for Ryan Messi. Again, he had the injury within a year. He coached Tottenham in the under-23s.
But you see, you don't begin.
When Tottenham sacked the manager, then they bring in as an interim coach.
You see, you don't begin bringing talk. Then now they can't draw bush.
Yeah.
Can't begin talk the way they can't draw bush. Left feet.
But now, like I explained, when Steven Gerrard left, as soon as he left, he get a job for coach Liverpool on the 14th. From there, in Poland, on the 14th, he go on the 18th, on the 20th, and then he get a job in Rangers. Goes to.
How many black players they encourage into that kind of stuff?
Then they encourage.
I talk so you don't begin to bush.
Then they encourage. If you go to Chelsea, you go to some clubs, then you just see black coaches and really coach in the academies. Then we not be ex-footballers then.
Yeah, but only academy level. Would you talk about the level when they bring kind of like what you say? So then bring Stevie Gerrard count at the under 21, he come at the under 16. So it goes straight into a big side. They don't put Hurricane finally. They don't count Rashford. So basically, we might get some goal right now. Hurricane. So finally, now in last game, we don't play so for England. But now that England goes semi-final.
T-boy, I don't say he asks for some certain player them. He go play to England come out. You know why?
Why?
England team in particular, then they afraid the press. They're not afraid the press. If England pull Hurricane, they not score goal. They go say na because na pull Hurricane make una not score.
Or they full Hurricane and beats them.
The press, man, that's the problem. Certain player them, easy for some.
Talking about the press, how much influence would you say the press gets in team selection, now England or other parts of the world in terms of football? More like, as a coach, you don't ever get any kind of pressure from your local press for say there are certain players where the press they look at for make you use because of now people the way they believe within the community. Scotland, they go closer. Go on, Molai.
Yeah, now pressure we always get because football don't base in a way that the opinions is so too much. You understand? All man feel say you understand the game. All man get the way look at football and get who that he want for play. But waiting, I believe in football, we will learn. Football is based on fact and no opinion. So most times, the media or what you call it, can get players them we not their own favorites. So what's happen when it comes to decision making, like in terms of selection, they can tend to involve. Some can even do a team selection in advance, which until get the player in mind. But it don't begin to make a selection for you already. Don't begin put you under pressure. It don't begin come with so many reasons then for sensitize fans them. The reason why you for play that person there. If you don't play the person now, what you wait for? You wait for the bad results. When the bad results come, they say, "Oh, we be not talking."
I've been saying so.
Yes. We be not talking. We not say this player ain't good, you not play him now and make the team loss. Like England team now. Imagine you be an England manager. Before the game, before the day for the game, all the media then get their own first 11.
And then no to the team.
So straight away, they don't put you under pressure.
But do you sometimes succumb to that kind of pressure there, or you just do you go out and select your own team? Have you ever been influenced by the media team of selection?
Yes, I don't influence, but I learned something, say, not my responsibility for the players in performance and the team in performance. So
she had absolutely so it can't close.
Yeah. If the team lost,
now you go for Scotland. Go on, Mulai.
If the team lost, I mean they get full responsible. So why am I going to take the responsibility?
Yes, so my question to you, rather than waiting T-Boy ask, on the similar thing, you can, rather if me ask you if you don't get pressure, you think, say, the press, the force, you feel the press, the influence people and forget the sack? You will say yes. The press, the influence people them for sign people them, or the people or manager them for pick certain player them.
Yeah. The press they do that. Then they influence everything. Then they influence team selection.
Why you say that?
Signing players, sacking managers, because they get so much power. They get so much power. And especially in England, they get so much power. Most of the managers that we see, they get difficulty with them. They get difficulties with them, clubs them. Not the press, not they influence that. If the press don't say you, then they sack you. Yeah? Even if it takes 6 months. Then we'll do everything for influence that decision.
And agree. And me na Liverpool fan, so I'm not a Man United fan. But I think the whole this Super League to be one take place, and the reaction of the British public and the havoc with United fans then create, I put on solely na the shoulders them of Gary Neville in Sky Sports. I believe my belief again, I believe Sky then fancy if that delay been go through the American media, them for take control of the Premier League or of that league day, and in for Hamburg within Sky they do na England and na Europe. So I believe Sky, the agenda wasn't just about they care about the game, but the profit margin was part of the reason why they push for make that thing be. And I think Gary Neville should be held responsible personally for some of the things that we see and do we cause havoc then, because as you see more like the press and get a lot of power, then for realize the power we then get, and when you call for certain things, that you for realize that voice we use so beaucoup people go follow you, and sometimes they must go do bad with some of the statements in this. So I think they should look at Gary Neville keenly in that statement and the statements in the we make.
Saying they should hold him responsible, even though sometimes he's saying opinion about the intention of the American influence into the English game, because some of those things that he said possibly are true, but is it because of his kind of character or man will be you're not supposed to make any kind of statement in different?
No. I'm not saying you shouldn't make statements, and we all know, we all believe. I think saying I've been Liverpool owner, then can't watch Liverpool game because sales color Liverpool they play. You understand? So there is something wrong about foreign ownership. But outside through there for talk, we will can say you take your birthright, you sell them for Kokoebe. This is the truth. If you take waiting at you property, waiting at you resource, waiting don't blanch you for time immemorial, you go sell them because somebody come with a shiny thing can show you, then I'm sorry, that person where they can pull you club is responsible, but not as responsible as you. It's down to you to do your due diligence and for no other it is go sell the club too. But you can't take the money, you enjoy the money, then you turn your back and talk to them, you can't play your club. That's my feeling about this whole thing. I don't know more like waiting how you been see that whole scenario they will be play out.
Few weeks ago, Femi, I take me on the 14s in Manchester. You get me, Femi?
Yeah, there you.
Yeah, I take me on the 14s in Manchester who will play a showcase with Manchester then on the 14 academy because let me get few boys the way they be interested in the squad. So we'll discuss something similar like this. So one of the coaches they not tell me, they say Gary Kanamawe, the club Manchester in the freedom because of your honest opinions. See opinions and very, very strong. They say the club they really afraid in the freedom. Especially the higher hierarchy. Tell we playing, they say most of the things they say not true information they give. And in opinions them very, very, very strong.
Well, Gary Lineker is a golden boy of English football. So basically...
Neville, Gary Neville. So.
Gary Neville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neville, well, I don't watch a couple of them programs. Them programs sometimes controversial, even though something about their own opinion and views about certain things they highlight. But I still feel they don't forget that kind of control over the Premiership because yes, they have done a lot within the Premiership as a player, as an individual. They're not able to change the game so much. For the fact they're not in Manchester United for more than 10, 15 years, and Manchester United don't win almost everything during that era. Their playing days for England as well was remarkable. But I don't think they should be that powerful for dictate the pace at which the Premiership for go or waiting at the decision of the Premiership to other competition the way they come into the Premiership. I think the FA not make any form of justice if they listen primarily to some of the words the way Gary Neville make. Because as far as me concerned, yes, you can say whatever you need to say, it's your opinion. They don't push it, it's your opinion, but at the same time, you also get to look at the wider picture. I don't know which kind of complex the FA gets over them, but I don't think the FA should. I see one for coming just now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, don't pull me, brother. But really and truly, on this game, I think England should be very disappointed if they're not score on this game. If they not win this game, I would be very disappointed. As I say, I don't think Scotland is strong enough, But England will win one game, they can draw that and so it will be 4 points, so they're on their way to the target, I guess. But for me, I think if you want to be European champions, game like this you for winner.
Yeah, Femi, how they for win this game? We Scotland, Scotland they in charge. Don't be honest. Come on.
Yeah, Scotland they put England on their back foot, but at the same time, England get the caliber of player there for change the game. That's the difference.
This unless they're lucky this game.
No.
You understand? Now they don't push England inside their own half now. England they play inside their half now. They seldom go the other parts of the pitch when Scotland they have. Watch the game.
Yeah, so let me can say to you, if you hear me, I say if England will win this game, then for be disappointed, or me go be disappointed, because if they aim for win the championship, team like Scotland, then for beat them. Right now, England are paying second fiddle to Scotland as far as me concerned. The game with me they watch. You understand? Yeah, and really and truly, England are one of the favorites apparently for win this thing. So if you're one of the favorites to win this thing, Scotland, especially when you neighbor them, especially when you arch rivals, you for beat them like a bobo where you get a chance. You know when they can say when you meet person where you able now for beat a chance say you na man.
Really, Femi?
No, in terms of what the family say, if England are ready for beat Scotland 2-3 knots, then they send a message to the rest of the world say, I mean the rest of Europe say, yes, we are indeed ready for win this championship because even Scotland winner will be biggest rival in terms of all the kind of controversy really behind the game, will still forgive them 3 knots. It means they are serious about it.
Remember the prediction?
That will change the entire atmosphere of the championship right now because at the end of the day, every other championship country go out for realize say, well, if England don't give Scotland 3 knots, and one of the biggest rivalry games with the competition, then we for taking England serious, the main business. I think at that point in time, maybe the same.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. But the first day, I told you, he said, "Oh, what's your prediction for this group? Who is going to make it?" And then you ask me, say, analyze what to make you feel, say, na so you get for happen. I tell you, say, na the toughest group. And I give you the reason.
No, you're right.
But I still know they are accepting that the toughest group. The toughest group now the Germany group. Germany, France, Portugal, and is it Ukraine or that's the toughest group because any one of those 3 countries can win the champion can win the competition. So
myself, I don't think say this group will be actually the toughest group, but I think say England are strong enough to qualify. You know, but again, I say this decision making is poor. Southgate found a way to win to beat Croatia, but not look like say he doing homework against Scotland. You know, really and truly, I would not have started Harry Kane, but that's my personal opinion. I would not have gone with 2 defensive midfielders. That's my personal opinion. I would have played an attacking team in this game.
Femi and T-Boy, technically, not to the toughest group. I repeat, technically, not to the toughest group.
Okay.
But the passion of the game. Yeah? Wait for like Croatia and Czech Republic meet up. Then you go see who's side they come from. Now, other 2 heavy rivals and the one in the.
But then in our war business.
this group will end up. Why would they lead this group? They will end up get 5 points. If possible, you need to go beyond 5 points. Let's see how tough the group is. Some group then you don't predict them. Some teams don't get 6 points already, like Belgium in group. They don't get 6 points already. They say then they qualify with 9 points.
Well, how again? So going back to England, who they watch. So why isn't Rashford a starter? Why isn't Rashford? I mean, I'm not a United fan. I keep saying that, but why isn't Rashford a starter above an unfit Harry Kane?
Is Harry Kane unfit? He ended the league with a top goal scorer and more assists, and then he said he's unfit.
But from what they see, so as Yusuf say, he's still finding his feet.
He's not performing well.
Yeah. So how long? How as a coach, how long do you carry that player? You know, say at the moment he's not in the top form, either injury or other thing we don't know. But he's not. It doesn't seem to be the Harry Kane we on man the holla for. You know, why we get other attacking player them? Why we not say okay, well. Low policeman, low business other man, low see waiting better day. We get other young boy that we eager for play. We sometimes go run Scotland in defense. Get
Fam, the man where you talk say, they get close to the balls. We the main coming. We didn't substitute for yes. He's not even getting close to the ball. I want to play Scotland this game, then game plan work. Then get a game plan, and they execute them well. And England need extra luck for win this game. But if not performance no more, I don't see them for win this game.
This is what I'm allowed to give an so.
The Scotland team full of energy. England tap on this game.
Well, the Scotland team go full of energy because they are thirsty to win the game more than the way how England they want for win the game.
Yeah, because they make a mistake in first match with them loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the first game with them loss. So now,
Well,
game London.
Well, maybe they say the game go down 0-0 anyway, and they end up for make it down 0-0 because I never say it get for be a goalless draw. At the end of the day, England no starts up a team for can't score goals, then starts a team for can defend the game more so than actually losing it or actually going for a winner. Because at the end of the day, the way how the game play, England don't get 3 points secured. Why worry? Why can't waste time and energy with Scotland? Now they got no more need from there.
Because you want beat them like a boo-boo.
And
because you want beat them like a boo-boo, now make you for bother. You know,
yeah,
get the bragging rights.
Femi.
England no England get last. They go play football with it.
Now would England play last? Czech Republic.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, do you think it's an easy game also for England?
They only need a draw.
No, that's going to be a tough game. If England don't think they're not going to win that game,
you don't know what's going to happen from the other games then.
Well, England only need 5 points for qualify, and if they get 5 points, they qualify.
Well, Mola, now make us say, Mola, the group is so tight. Now make us say, England for don't try for win this game. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying they deserve for win this game. Don't get me wrong, you know, I know I disrespect Scotland, but if England want to say they're one of the favorites, and something and it's time for put fear in people them. Some of them game the word on see what they say, you know, Italy commander go do this. We hear say Holland they scored 3. We hear Holland come off from Belgium. We hear say Belgium come off from 1-0 down against Denmark the other day and can win the game 2-0. You understand? When you begin eating like that and when you can't play the next, they feel bad. So the point that they try for make certain games them na psychology and they win them.
Yeah.
You know, and talk about Gary Neville, he learned his trade from Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson, they confuse the referee, they team up and the touchline, they show him watch. They tell the ref, say, time not done it to Fagi hour, 90 minutes, 93 minutes, United go score, go win the game. You know, something in the psychology works. And I think, say, if me not be England coach, I mean, for go all out, I mean, for play some really quick bubble them and try for win this game. And other things they do that.
I think that job is Wenger's job, you know.
Which job? The England job?
Yeah.
Why? You finished then the second next?
Yeah. Something that is suspect.
Why don't you think say Wenger will take the England job?
Because the talents they wouldn't get in the pursuit and physical will bring the talent together, then they will deliver.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you get money, you go put some pandande because this is not inside information. Because he's so right. Me not ever look at that way, but he's right. Wenger has the respect, say he changed the English game. The Arsenal fans them then so terrible that then they blame that man for all thing. When the man left, they never do any better safe. But when them say Wenger out. Wenger don't come all the way they can replace her with Usai. You know, okay, the manager now is the sky, but really and truly for a club like Arsenal, right now T-Boy, T-Boy said if they put T-Boy as striker, they score 15 goals for the season.
Stop it.
If they put T-Boy 7, they score 15 goals. So really and truly, Arteta not done a great job. Besides, two day for talk.
No, I'm not impressed with Arteta because at the end of the day, they expect we can make a drastic change with the team. And so far, the first few half of the season he can do well small, and that's pretty much about it. Because I don't feel say he don't actually ready for managed team like Arsenal. because Arsenal is not a small team, and you need manager way for not just manage on the pitch, but off the pitch and deal with the other issues the way Arsenal gets way more technical and possibly get more responsibility than just managing the team. So I think it's a whole package. And what's this guy do they sorry, I'm not going to say any manager will be able to attempt that, because Wenger not just build Arsenal, he builds an empire alongside the team itself. And when I say build an empire, it starts from the coaching team, because it's a whole system. The coaching team, the reserve, the administrative structures. He built an empire now Arsenal. And I'm not going to say any manager can work with that empire if you not get that technical, practical, physical, and mental skills there for put certain things together. It's similar the same kind of thing where Alex Ferguson do at Man United. As you see where Alex Ferguson left, many other managers they can struggle. I also name them. Because it is not just easy. The only person they manage now Social, and I believe say Social gets the combination of what Alex Ferguson be doing those days the way Alex Ferguson have been your own manager. So you see all those structures. Now I mean they allow for give and chance for make able for do whatever they do right now, and he don't try for begin put things in place. But he's doing very well compared to how the other one they don't come.
T-boy. He asks for remember I say he asks for change player. He asks for sack certain manager them.
Yeah, of course.
Solskjaer,
of course, I agree.
1999. What he do? Now that final moments of that game day, don't put that Monday in name in eternal memory of Manchester United fans them.
Yeah.
The Christmas with the community and I can sack Solskjaer for any fake reason right now. He will get for regret that decision day. If he no replace him with somebody who can win straight away. That's the problem. You know, it's hard. You know, I think say Chelsea, they struggle to sack Frank Lampard. You know, who they watch Chelsea they play now, somebody go say na the right decision. I think saying have been a wrong decision for giving Lampard the job na Chelsea in the first place. And again for sack Malik Dande with dedicating life to Chelsea, it isn't easy. You know, it's hard. They're not going to sack Solskjaer. Sometimes they go talk on a corner and you know Fenway for pull on those on saying his eye or then see illness or something like that. But that man, what he do for in club was incredible. But I blame that Juventus defender and I named Doc Common Amid. Because if you been clear that ball, we're not going to all this book talk, but treble, we brother with the support United don't tell we for the last almost year. You know, 21 years now on the suffer that treble thing there. So that in I make scores at another game the management team today.
Yeah, I believe that as well, Femi, but I also believe say because of in era in Manchester United, he don't train under Alex Ferguson for long. So he knows a lot about the Alex Ferguson structure. And I believe say not to just managing the team itself, but there is a structure where they don't build that structure that you get for at least follow the trend. Because Arteta, to be honest, yes, he don't do well in the managing career, but I think Arsenal is a bigger team for him. I don't think he can handle Arsenal as a manager because Arsenal is massive. Arsenal is almost like an AC Milan, Inter Milan. It's massive. It's a massive big club, and you need somebody that gets that caliber for say this is what I want. Now that makes Social the struggle because you still see Social like a small over. He still look like a player we just don't it 5 seasons ago. But he's actually not that player. He's kind of old. But in physique, you know, they see that strong personality in him. We would say, okay, this is not the manager for Manchester United. The other managers, they actually say, even in this arrogant one, we call him, maybe the Chelsea. Mourinho, as you see, so you don't see the attitude and say, well, this is a manager we need to take rubbish. So basically, you need to forget that kind of personality in you. Because if you not get some, you struggle. I mean, Tottenham, when our last manager wouldn't have been get that guy. We bring the team come to the level where
Pochettino.
Exactly. Pochettino was a brilliant manager because he not just can look at the team as a whole, he brings them a proper structure. He actually transformed Tottenham the game. Tottenham the game, not mean that's fine. Tottenham na mean dead man striker them. You get 2-3 wing and they really can't make name for. But he actually changed the.
You have me Pamola Vex by.
No, you don't understand that true. You don't understand that true because that particular manager, the way he come, and you see how consistent he was. He can begin to change the game. He changed almost every structure of Tottenham. And then he realized now, say, I can't really take this club to the next level because the thing that we him wants, the club, the management of the bigger side of the CEOs and level for Giam. And if he say, well, if now make can win certain things, so now therefore allow me for bringing certain players that want for to go make that changes. But because football management again also, it's about how you the influence change and how you they make the change become sustainable. And most of we English clubs them, now very few of the chairman and they ready for put that kind of money where managers and they ask for say, okay, I want this player, I want that player, I want that player. Very few English clubs and they say, well, okay, let's take the chance. We might see the dividends of this chance will it take until next season or 2 seasons from now. Go on, Femi.
More like, as a football man and as a Tottenham fan, what's your take on the Pochettino dismissal? Can I sack and sack him? The sack and sack him from Tottenham. What's your take on that?
We owe Pochettino an apology. And we pay the price for in dismissal. We owe him an apology, and we pay the price now. We make a big mistake. Big mistake. So let him go.
So what's the reason make this happen?
You see the game, T. You definitely get a bad run as a coach, especially as a coach, as a manager. It's not fine for you throughout. Let's say this season, see how Jurgen Klopp gets a bad run. A struggle. At some point, Liverpool go all the way to 9th position, but it brings them back to a level where, at the end of the day, all Liverpool fans then, you understand, they're satisfied. And then when they remember back again, waiting even on do for Liverpool, and what you go through this season with a lot of injuries and all the things and then you say they're satisfied with him in overall performance for the team. Pochettino gets a bad run. Spurs go all the way to 12th position, I think, 10 or 12th position. We win a bad run. Since we enjoyed the club been always they up there consistently. And the league been just starts. 4-7 games, they get a bad run. Because he lost the Champions League, all man begin come with him. Everybody begin come with him. The next thing now, they begin taking him for Saka. Then we, the fans, them back. Most of we, as I say, we can feel say we understand the game because we watch football, we follow football. We feel say we understand the game. This man can go finals for Champions League. No means say we for compare ourselves with certain clubs then. You understand? We still got a long way to go. If we want to get to the 1 million level, we got a lot of things to do for we to get to that level. We know they invest on players. Tottenham know they attract quality.
No, that's what they say, yeah.
You understand? We know they attract quality. No wonder we play away now world class. Top.
Yeah, no. But that's not one of the reasons
you understand? Now we they make player them to world class level. So not different way if you see the game. We all now because we lost Champions League now, we begin to say, oh, we for win this, we for win that.
Like the Manchester United, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Yeah.
So what do? We go bring somebody come we just come mess up the whole dynamics. say we go bring somebody can win a winner. This man we go run at for seeing a winner. This man gets a record of attracting quality. And we not get that money there for funding quality.
Exactly.
You understand? We not get that money there. Pochettino, they build a team, they coach player for and take it to another level. Mourinho don't have that time. Mourinho they see quality somewhere and bring and come and get the results. So now two different things. You make quality, me go bring quality.
And Tottenham not ready for spending money. The chairman they wanna get.
No.
And I'm sure a lot of us away is spending money. Then I saw a Jew man. It's a bit in money, bad one. You know, just release on almost bank and value business.
So now so we mess up the whole everything.
So yeah, I agree.
The one good. Go on, Femi, sorry.
I want to say I agree. I think it was a poor decision. I think all the man apology. I think Tottenham believe they were bigger than they actually are. You know, Liverpool went to a final. We lost them. The next year we go back. You know, and I think if Tottenham go back with Pochettino and they invest, they learn lesson where they lost finally to Liverpool. If they go back the next season, strengthen the team up a little bit. I think them for compete. I not see them for win the Champions League, but them for compete back. And I think the fact Pochettino reached the Champions League final, with a club like Tottenham, then for Bayern at least 2 more seasons, or at least to the end of his contract. So I was very disappointed. I could not believe it when it happened. But I'm glad if I can say it don't go. I'm not going to say a bigger club because I'm saying Mola not going to like me business. But it don't go in a wealthier club. And they play with some other world class. They coach some world class player them at the moment. And I think that they add to in CV. So, but you know, people make mistakes. Madrid lets my name they escape me. The manager go. Jesus. Wait till Madrid the manager name.
Zidane?
Zidane. They left Zidane make it go after Zidane win for them. But they realize a mistake and then go and come back, not so? So it's possible. We know you must say Pochettino not happy outside right now. And there's a possibility say Blanca sports back.
Yeah, but he's on contract.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you can't. No, that's true.
You're on contract. So
you know, and
whether you're happy or not,
you get for CRT contracts. Yeah.
Something has to trigger that for you to change. Until the way you look, until the money we want for like build the team, PSG they provide that money there. Yeah. And the man say one be among the top managers, then you understand, we they achieve something.
No, I think Pochettino improving na me money.
If you not reach a point,
I'm not make it for spending money for me to get it for the way.
If you not reach a point where they forget money, because he managed the club for let them build a stadium. Now it's
one good thing and the way you do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
their legacy. You understand? Yeah. So now we say, okay, now let's spend the money now. Them players who in the used to follow achieve all these things. Some of them they run out. Let's try for bringing fresh players and now fresh qualities. Them we will take it to another level. You understand? And the only way it's all about consistency. Since when he left Spurs, we don't play Champions League now. We're not consistent. The league says if we don't know we position, who they. Last season we finished 7th. This season again the same thing again. So whose improvement will make since we left?
I believe when they sack him, they may not already get a deal with Mourinho succeed him.
All that in the media and they make up all that deal.
I think they may not get that they may cry say this man not sabi win. Now make Tottenham another win trophy them. So no go fend this guy with the can win. But sometimes to win it, you gotta be in it. And Pochettino, to be honest, was always competitive as a manager. He remind me of that striker with the miss front goal. But guess what? The reason why they miss front goal because he's always getting there. You understand? If you not get there, you're not gonna miss. If you team up no more, the ball they pass you by, the game they pass you by, then you're not gonna miss. But if you did miss, that means to say you actually did try. And I think that way they see Pochettino when he was a Tottenham as a manager. Yes, sometimes no win. But then say the same about Klopp. Then say Klopp, almost Liverpool go almost final way Liverpool never win. Them begin say this man he never win, but as he begin win, so look how much competition they win in a row. You understand? Something and they you tell me no don't carry it. You tell him go come. Would I go believe say Mourinho go there now another win trophy? Because at one point he was untouchable. Chelsea then former manager Conte, he's like gold dust at the moment. Also go they go win. Not win at Inter so.
Yeah.
He don't win at Juventus, he don't win at Chelsea. So certain thing and they win at UTEM. Pep they win. Na Champions League no more don't avoid them na Man City. But they win everything else. You understand? So certain manager then they with the right team come, with the right club come, they will win and win. Going manager them and sacking and club moves them parts with Nuno Gomez, I say
yeah,
Espirito Santo. Again then say sack the man. Really? I mean, a club like Wolves, yes, and gets a big fan base, but really actually waiting a man to do for that club day, for me, again, that's legendary status. I don't know what else Wolves be want in this short space of time with the non-car in the Premier League. Something I believe say we not appreciate what we get. I remember there was a manager called Alan Kirbishley, did wonders for Charlton. Charlton and go sack the man. I said sack the man, so 9 them begin go south. I wonder how's league then they right now. Something and they get for take what they wish for.
All right, thank you very much, Femi, and thank you very much, Molai. Thank you, viewers. You want to say something again?
I guess my last word I'll ask you.
Yeah, sure. We can't see your last word, but definitely. I just want to say thank you to everybody so far for watching the game with us whilst we were talking, and you also were about watching the game yourself in your own small corner. But I want to say thank you to Ona for that particular time doing Alongiwi within the past 2 hours for making for watching the England-Scotland game. Unfortunately, this is a goalless draw, but we'll not say England not determined for go win this game by scoring goals, because otherwise they may don't start the game with some fire. But not just saying that, I think we get for follow up the other games the way they happen, either tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday, or anytime from now, but we're going to update. But look into the man at the platform for me in the last few words, so now, look what you get from them. More like, what think will be the last few words for today's game?
Well, me not surprised with the results. I'm not surprised because I'm not seeing a very, very strong, tough game for England. Most of the Scottish football they play in England, they play in the English Premiership, in Championship. So they understand the English players. Not to players the way kind of stranger to them. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. So, and they come up with a game plan. And the game plan we come up with, they execute them well, then get the results. The first, I would say the first 18 minutes of the match was England. England was all over Scotland. After that, the game became 50-50. And towards the end of the first half, the last 12 minutes, Scotland been in control. Then come in second half, England try again the first 10 minutes, then able break. And after that, Scotland no more be seen how they create chances, them upon chances. There was a time when In fact, Scotland, they play inside England, they don't have. So see how difficult it was for England today. It's like England even run out of steam. Because the Scotland team is so determined. They not allow England any space for play.
So you go say today England and then get locked not for lost this game.
Yeah, when you look at the chances created, you will not say na England lucky for go with the 1 point. But Scotland did everything. They not get any big player the way who they look forward to, but then get players the way a job done players. And that typical Scottish mentality. If you pick the team and all the players the way they play with so today, when you look them at the clubs with they are just job done players. The guy over with the United, where they play midfield for them, McTominay, na a job done player. The other midfielder within Aston Villa, where they play regularly, McCann, something, na a job done player. So Robertson, Tierney, all this, very solid. And I be even give you an advice, say, if England see no more on Scotland and left side, they won't penetrate. There's no way. And now in England, they own strength back. So now they Scotland, they safe. Keep them focused.
Right.
So England will break through. So there was a lot of tactical things in the game where people not see, but not to easy side them play. Scotland play with one boy winner, a talent. I want to watch out for him. He wear number 23. In the call and Gilmore. He's young. I think he's about 18, 19. He's a Chelsea. A Chelsea player. I want to check him, get a track from back. The boy was so good today. When I watch the game, I no more to watch. Because now in Scotland, they play free on the game.
So they're making me the floating player.
18. Yes. So then they do the job because the boy got so much talent. And not today I will see good, the best of him because lately I see that Chelsea, the new manager, can use him. He can play with him. Colin Gilmore with 23 jersey. But that performance was he put up today, you don't see the next number 10 player for Scotland.
All right, that number 10 waiting for Scotland. No easy for me, then he play out. If it's not you, they guarantee you. But anyway, thank you very much for that contribution. A very interesting day today. We talk about the football in the football. We don't talk about the whole day. We don't make one mention of salon football. I think that was deliberate. So they left that one day for the next game. Over to you, Femi.
Yeah, so I'll get a few things before we wrap up. First of all, I'll begin with more like, so when Dembele Unani Stadium, I actually get the opportunity for Goody. Not to go watch game. So I went there. I went behind the scenes. I'll go inside the changing room. Them. And I get some different changing room. We know to football changing room. And I get for American football. So I saw those. I go and get a bar there. So basically, because I do work in technology, Tottenham the stadium now one of I think at the newest stadium with a non-bill. Well, definitely in England anyway, but possibly around the world, one of the new and them. So you get all the new technology them. So now that will make I go there, and I was super impressed with what Tottenham do. So I think really and truly the money we didn't spend was wisely spent. As I say, I look as a football fan, obviously. I looked around. The only thing they allow it on the pitch, but now the we not cross the white line for going on the plain side of the pitch. So now the edge of the pitch we work a day, we take selfies, we take pictures and stuff. The technology manager there now a friend of mine. So now that reason they make coming good. But there was some job opportunities as well. But I not take after Liverpool. I can't see why they gone. But I'll go work for Tottenham. I'll go the left now money side they go work. I go work now Tottenham. People then go watch me say you not sober. Anyway, no. It's a nice place. But I say it's good when you invest money. You see now with the fans don't see it that way. The fans, they want more success on the pitch. But success, they take time. Arsenal, they still able to recover from where they building stadium.
Thank you.
It's not easy for go through the lame years and day, whilst you try for bill, the able spending power diminish. It's not easy to maintain a team. Arsenal and do with Wenger, he allowed them for build the stadium, and since then they haven't really been able to kick on. Yes, so I think say for Tottenham it will be similar. I think say Pochettino for don't get a little bit more time because money not been there for gear and for buy player them. So if you been a groom the player the way he gets and they succeed with them, I think say them if don't be out and say they able get a small cash and say okay, we're not able to go buy 5-6 player for you. But every season we'll go fend one, so not to top one, but we'll go fend the next, one for you. I think say he would have been happy, but sacking the man for foolishness because then feels saying we'll bring somebody who can get an instant win without the player then was just rubbish decision making. But before we go, I want to talk about T-Boy. We talk about taking the knee. I know so we don't surpass that topic a little bit, but I want Brian Cam because whose club they support together. I always forget. Crystal Palace. I get quite influential player there. Black man too. We decide for make a statement. We all man they take the knee. Say they take the knee. In the team up all man they take the knee. Africa man too. Zaha. What do you think? Oh yes, wait till nothing but Dandy. Also the T-Boy them. You T-Boy first been a Crystal Palace man. I mean, I think say he still stand against racism, but he decided that whilst in company and he take the knee in beneath him up, and he made quite a lot of noise in the press about it. Then I go and make the other T-Boy, the Samola himself, from a professional angle, tell me himself your opinion before they got proper big.
Well, as we said earlier on, the knee is a decision taken by players for respect Black Lives Matter and try for puts an end to racism in football, which again, you're not forced to do it, but it doesn't mean if you don't do it, it means you are not in favor of it. For Zaha make a decision like that, Zaha has always been a controversial player, even in playing days within the Manchester United anyway. It feels a bit too, maybe he feels a bit too extra as a player, so he thinks he's always on the opposite side. Even when Milema United said there are so many controversial issues and they were great, but most of them did not come up on the air because it was some of them were doing training ground speech, playing, not really much to do with the actual game itself. So it been gets issue with Alex Ferguson and a few more of the hierarchy of the team. So coming to Crystal Palace again, it felt a bit like, I can't Crystal Palace is like an underdog team for me, but anyway, I can't play the game. But he still doesn't have the respect that he thinks he deserves to have at Crystal Palace because Crystal Palace don't actually worship players. They worship you if you can deliver for them week in, week out. When at that now, the religious thing we don't do anyway. So for him not taking the knee, and imagine Zaha hasn't been on the spotlight for more than 3 seasons. Even with the Crystal Palace, you really don't see him. He's not really a first-team player at Crystal Palace, right up to some points. I don't know whether he's a first-team player now, but as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't been a first-team player for seasons.
So he's
struggling.
I say now Pele.
Oh, yeah, now being with Pele. But at the moment, he's struggling to get a first-team place. So basically, as player, we always want to forget the attention. If we say always get, it is therefore creates an atmosphere for himself. So I will not be surprised if he refuses to take the knee because he knows definitely this is going to make a headline for him. And if he make headline for him, it brings him back on the top flight of football. And he only could bring and come back on the top flight for football in a controversial way. It doesn't matter whether he's kicking the ball or not. So for a player, we don't get first in place for Crystal Palace for so long. And as a French player, I don't even think he has a call to the national team after the last World Cup.
Who's French player?
No, it's Ivorian. The Ivorian.
He's a French player, but again, if you look at France won for Colin for go play, and he also won for play for England. So he didn't even know where he belongs anyway. So he don't miss all in captain day. So for some reason, he's not happy with himself because he wanted to play for France. He did not get a call. The same way,
but he played for Ivory Coast.
Well, he ended up Ivory Coast because if he wait for England call, he not get England call. He wait for France call, he not get French call. So he end up at the Ivory Coast. So basically, that's true. Yeah. So basically, he hasn't been the player he always thought he is. So for him to be controversial is no surprise to me. It just be a shame that must say, well, the knee is not a compulsory thing, whether you're black or not, to do it. And you do them in solidarity for compliment or for support or for just back up the statement of saying we should stop racism in football. And not something that originates from England anyway. It originates from America, where an American football player decides to take the knee and it becomes a global thing. So Black Lives Matter starts in America and it becomes a global thing. So it not necessarily means that when he did not take the knee, it means he is against racism. It just happened almost say that's his choice. And like I say, it's his opinion. If he chooses not to take the knee, that's fine. But it's a shame for him not to do that. I don't know what his reason was, but I'll find out.
Reason, even if you see the action, they don't take enough action for tackle racism. So now they get that frustration because even they get a lot of attacks them on social media. You understand? They get a lot of abuses on social media. So you see and say this knee thing not a work. It's just like kind of it don't become like a trend or a brand. You understand? Where people just want show publicly, but they not act. You understand? They don't give the real actions they're waiting for. They need to take the actions in the. And to be honest, now one of the players who they get abuses in now social media.
So what's not a lot of abuses on social media? Why? Is it because of his social media posting? Because at the end of the day, social media
because most of them because after football and they socialize. Like and Drogba, then they get a lot of you understand. So people in that side they target them.
Well, to me, if anybody target Drogba, it's a shame for that person because Drogba is doing exceptionally well for his community.
Pogba.
Again, Pogba is doing exceptionally well for his community. So I will not really put a force on people attacking Pogba. If you attack Pogba on social media, now because of his lifestyle, because Pogba, as you see him, he's arrogant because he believes in himself, he knows he can deliver. So he doesn't really care what people say about him. He can cast, so he do anything for do. One thing I like about Pogba and the fact say he knows he's African and he's very proud to be African. And he know they ever compromise that fact, say, I am an African man, born in France or not. He doesn't really care. He knows he's an African man and he behave exactly like that in his house I go. So basically, to me, I respect him for that. Yes, he's representing France. Can you imagine? France win the World Cup. These guys actually made the French president dance Congolese music in our stadium. The one old French team, they were embraced with a Congolese song. Each and every player in France, now the national team, and the stadium. Again, all these now influence of Pogba because guess what? He plays these songs every day when he go play in a dressing room, in a headphone, in a Walkman. So basically, he lives in an African environment. So everybody embraces that. But if anything we Pogba do on social media, where I believe say strongly not get nothing for do with possibly the waste card in terms of you saying things negatively to people, whether they are black or white. I don't think he is that type of person. I only realized Pogba was Muslim a couple of years ago. But again, when he came Manchester United, the way he get this manager who we talked about earlier on, now he make all lengths in the Pop Cup. Because he was there for a couple of seasons, nobody knew he was a Muslim. Nobody even knew much about his personal life. Now, only when Mourinho come, now we can begin to see too much issues of Pogba in personal life, begin come up in the public, in religion, begin come out in the public, because he made some kind of sin behind it all. So basically, yeah, Zaha, to me, I expect the view say yes, he's right to say the knee is becoming fashionable. I totally agree with that at some point. But if you choose not to do it, and you're getting so much attack on social media, it's possibly down to some of the posts then where instead they put on social media. Because you get to understand your social life is different from your professional life. But also bear in mind, when you are a professional and you are being looked upon as a role model in society, your private life is going to also be monitored. And if you cannot distinguish those two and maintain the same kind of structure indirectly, then you have a problem. My example to that, which is a bad one that I'm going to make, that the facts say, as Sierra Leone, we have a national team. Are we coaching our boys how to behave in public as professionals? Because what we see na Pamalap, sorry, an officer Messi go travel from Argentina for go play na Cairo on a friendly match, and then the airport lights go off. Messi begin Canada because he feel so hot because he didn't Egypt and the place warm. He begin finding himself. He will not do that. He's a professional. He rather suffer the consequences of that heat and fence himself outside to go isolate himself because he knows he's a public figure. So that's now one thing we have to say we've got for beginning train with players them for become more professional. Because if you go to Guinea, you do a Parmalap and then una get breakdown or then delay una because of COVID test. Why are they going to begin play matter na gone, they don't not gone? You guys are meant to be professionals. And the way how una display una action during that particular period was not professional at all. So I think your professional life should actually be what's not the word for me? Equivalent? Yeah, it should actually be equivalent to your personal life, because those two are always should be alongside each other in parallels, not in total opposites. Because if you try to do that, then you have the world to go at you. So now you don't take on the name of Femi. And the fact say Zaha refused to take a knee, more I don't give you the reason why. I respect his view on that, and I believe some of that view to some extent.
And it's not only Zaha. Few black players in there. I think all the players in a Brentford, there's few of them where refuse to take the knee because then anyway they all get their own reason. But that not the main reason, because the analysis said they take the right action. So
to be honest, if you have faced any amount of racism, the knee means nothing.
Yeah.
Because it means you've seen worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys. So the last point I want to make is about that. Yeah. I want to talk about something a bigger discussion for another day. Yeah, but I want to talk about responsibilities. So yes, I think since I had standing up for them few weeks and they opened the conversation even more because he did something a little bit different, so people then begin to talk about something slightly different, which in a way added to the anti-racist message. I think that was kind of good, but I think say in the bigger picture it was wrong. But again, this is my opinion. I think in the bigger picture it was wrong because we end up fuel the racist them where they say we look on a brother instead no one do am. Why una they expect we with my brother them for take the knee? Why una they take the knee? And we say then he boo England supporter them more. Then he boo England player them for taking the knee. So I think say something in the as I say earlier on, if you can't be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. By Sahar standing up, yes, Ibiwan make another statement, but I think say he helped to fuel the one that we've been there on the other side. And for make anything change in our society, we need the numbers, we need the movement. We already are a minority. Now the UK, we're only 17%, I believe. And not until we reach 18% it. So we're only 17%. So if we then begin divide that 17% day, we're never ever going to stand up and make a change. Yes, on a talk say Black Lives Matter became so popular that a lot of the people them actually decide with that way of thinking there. I beg to differ. I think say more in something like I will support Sahar Lily Biti, and I believe say a lot of people moved with the trend. Yeah, it was trendy to do certain things. It was trendy to say you're woke. It was trendy for say Black Lives Matter. It was trendy for say I stand with you. But really, really and truly, I've been here for asking myself, say, is Sky really, really against racism? We look at the panel, the news channel, the news anchor them. We look at the sports anchor them. And back and then, so one day we not within at this platform. But since then they don't do well. You know, they split up a very good team in the Soccer Saturday team. Yeah, because that means also with them. You know, so after Black Lives Matter, they realized that day, or somebody pointed that day out to them, and they made drastic change. You know, I think say that team day was funny. I enjoyed watching that team day, but I understand where they don't move to a different dynamic. I enjoyed to watch the Michael Richards. He's a funny guy. You know, apart from that big laughter where he gets, he's a funny guy. He would never have come through if we not been don't make that change they be.
Yeah.
If I mean, I totally agree with you at some point, because again, lack of awareness of some amount of institutional racism is because it hasn't been pointed out. So if you cry about something and then you look at your back door and your back door is not as clean as you think it is, then you should go and tidy it up, which is exactly what some of the institutions also do right now, especially the Premiership. So at the moment, they say Black Lives Matter, they need racism in football, but I highlighted earlier on to Molai, why don't we have enough of these black players retiring from football and getting into the football coaching or management style of things? Yes, you can only see them in the train whilst they are playing, but when they finish playing, their playing days are over, it's over. So basically, we don't see, like you say, this bubble, Column, Lampard, Giroud, they all finished their career and they went straight into England under 16, England 21. Then everybody has went straight into England. So then they put them into certain criteria when they finished their career. I mean, Gaza was the only one. I think Gaza was the one that they started to set the example on. Now make even get this guy been the Arsenal instead of another crazy guy. It is not the Femi, you gonna name him?
Smith.
Not so Smith. Arsenal, one of their prolific number 8.
That's a long ago.
Or Martin.
Oh.
Yeah. Martin also was going down the drain. His career was ending and he was like losing it. So, and they realized the guys don't lose them already. So they kept them together. They start bringing in all these players who have issues, who have alcoholic issues, who have mental issues, who have drug issues. Then bring them together and closely tighten up their niche and make sure say then get them engaged into doing football pundits so that they will get for distract them, because these are their big name, household name players then. So if they retire and nobody sees them in good light, it's not a good example for the younger kids growing up. So they did exactly that. But how many times Paulins don't go into football management, he did not make it to any big club? How many times you get few more other black coaches than with them? Take, for example, Thierry Henry. You think this guy Arteta can't really coach Arsenal with Thierry Henry without starting career, and then you get this guy with the Arsenal back again. Instead again, we don't then at the peak prime time for making himself be the Arsenal coach. Patrick Vieira, he was also a name to be called upon for take up the Arsenal coaching side or the management side. But again, these are some of the questions. So if the Premiership, they make too much noise about Black Lives Matter, racism in football, look, we begin get managers then win a black managers in the Premiership. Equally, the same thing happens in America. American football is full of black players. 90% of the players in American football are black players. Basketball, 80% of the top basketball players in the world are black players. How many top basketball managers they will get or coaches they will get inside American football, inside American basketball? Not even a handful. So it's equally the same thing in the UK. How many black managers do you get at the Premiership, Championship, lower divisions? When you go down below conference level, then now you begin to see that they will be, they are always going to be assistant coach, assistant coach, assistant coach, assistant manager, and when they get to the point of which the only way it's kind of that guy when they Brighton, he tried.
And then Saka.
Chris Hilton. After all in hard work we don't do now Brighton, then Saka. So basically, we don't get
Darren Moses, it's guy.
Well, we don't get to. I mean, you said about getting at team. We've been the Holland that the defender. I mean the striker. We made the Chelsea.
Oh, Floyd Hasselbank.
Yes.
Hasselbank
have been in our team. Instead been in our two team. Okay. Where is he? So we don't really make the top range football management structures. So if we really talk about Black Lives Matter, I totally agree with Femi at some point, and I also agree with Zaha. But again, like Femi say, look, the people away, they against this movement a platform for stand on, because when we give them the platform for stand on, then they will say, but look, they need to respect the movement anyway. And to change anything in the world right now depends on the movement, and the movement depends on the numbers. So if the movement has lower numbers, then the movement will not be great to make that change. Now, because of the Black Lives Matter movement became a global thing, there is a high concern of institutional racism now when you look at closely to see how much they can bring in equality based on race, gender, and sexuality. So therefore, begin look at the internet and see exactly what in the reason I make you to say this good or this not good, or how we're able to adapt and make sure we're able to bring in some amount of sanity into raising this awareness of racism. Because for as long as we know, it's going to take some time before racism is totally eradicated. Racism, as far as I'm concerned, we just have to live in an environment that we share common understanding and respect each other. But it is a disease that will not just go away overnight. So therefore, think about it very closely. But I want to say thank you once more to all the viewers then for your time. I want to say thank you to the one that waiting at the YouTube, and I want to say thank you to your contributions. And definitely, we go be back with Naya, possibly tomorrow, Sunday or Monday. But we'll continue with the European football tournaments where they happen right now inside Europe, and we will go now the best of what we will talk about. On the next footballing program, we could talk a little bit more about the Salon football saga, and also the qualification of Salon going into the African Nations Cup AFCON 2022, where they happen at Cameroon. So until next time, I want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you.